Hello, and welcome again to A Voice in the Wilderness. I actually came on today to record a different video, but then I saw some questions about spirituality just a few moments ago, and it made me think this is an important video that I think a lot of people need to hear about. And the question was, there's evidently this guy that's on the spiritual path, and he got in a confrontation with someone that he's been arguing with for a while. And he felt bad because he got mad at the person and he got angry. He can't control himself right now. And this guy says he's just not normally like this. He just got set off the wrong way. And it got me to thinking that there is an illusion when it comes to spirituality or Christianity. And I know that Christians don't like hearing that about spirituality, and vice versa. I don't care. I'm here to pass on information about the human psyche. And this illusion, when it comes to Christianity or spirituality, is that we think because we found something spiritual, or we think because we are trying to improve ourselves and be in a peaceful moment and keep ourselves in a peaceful mode, that there's not going to be any such thing, no such thing as conflict. And it is an illusion, straight up, that there no longer will be any conflict. It is an illusion that we may never have to fight, that we may not ever have to argue. This is part of being in the universe and even a part of enlightenment. I do believe it is kind of storytelling when you hear masters that can handle everything perfectly. One reason why a lot of them can handle things perfectly is their level of understanding as well as their level of experience. Have you ever noticed that there's some podcasters, the way they handle debate is just phenomenal? Would you be able to handle a debate like that? Some of you would be like, oh yeah, I would. Probably not. Some of you know you wouldn't. That's because you don't have the experience to be able to handle like some of this nonsense conflict. There is nothing about spirituality that teaches you that you have to be a second-hand citizen or a supporting actor in your life. And what I mean by supporting actor is you have people telling you what you should be doing with your life. You're seeking permission. Is it okay if I feel angry? Is it okay if I become a musician? Will my girlfriend be upset with me if I decide that I want to start writing a book? My dad's disappointed with me because I did not become a doctor. And I'm not sitting here saying this to feel sorry for yourself or poor me baby, because quite frankly, everyone's going to have an opinion about you and it's not going to stop, which is another illusion. There are things that are just passing through you, good and bad, or that we perceive good and bad. Some people think it's hilarious to have confrontation. Other people, they cringe and break. Other people end up in prison. That's when you want to start to pay attention. How do I deal with it? The solution may not be peaceful on the moment. The solution may be yelling. It may be remaining calm and trying to get to the bottom of the situation. I can't give you all the answers because every situation is unique. But the point of this video I wanted to make is a lot of people come to Christ and then all of a sudden everyone around them is sinning or they're part of some kind of problem. And so a lot of times, a lot of individuals will let these people get away with practically murder because Christ forgave them. This is an illusion. Why did Christ forgive you? Why did you seek Christ? Because you were going down a dark path that was going to be destructive, that you were going to face death one day. Because let me tell you something, no matter how much something has mercy on you in the universe, if you do not wake up, you're going to face death. And sometimes if someone's not awake enough around you, you may have to put them on their ass. And I mean that like mentally, maybe spiritually. Maybe there's a brother that's living with you that you're going to have to verbally put him on his ass because you've had enough mercy, but you're having mercy for the wrong reasons. Sometimes confrontation and conflict can be tough love. Sometimes conflict and confrontation is more compassionate than someone just letting things go. Letting things go, or just letting things happen because you don't want to offend anybody. Sometimes that is excuse my language, but that is a very shitty way of showing somebody that you love them. Think about your dog. You may scold your dog when your dog tries to run out in traffic. Part of that punishment might be you're not going out to the park anymore. The punishment may be a leash yank. That's tough love because you don't want to see your dog get killed. You're not being abusive, you're not being mean. There might be confrontations in marriage. The wife is upset. He doesn't let me do whatever I want to do. I have my rights, and he has no right to tell me what to do. My body, my choice. But in some instances, sometimes the husband is not trying to be controlling. He is concerned about you being at a club at 3 o'clock at night around a bunch of strangers drunk in an area where it's known for women being raped. This is what I'm talking about, that not every time there's a conflict, it's a bad thing. Not all the time someone is telling you what to do. It goes both ways. There's times you may have to be the aggressor. There's times the aggressor's coming at you, and you might be the one that's wrong. So on this spiritual path, where we're playing pretend, and we just think everything's hunky-dunky-dory, and we want to meditate, take mushrooms, and smoke, or pray to God, and everything is just perfect. You have to realize that is you in your world. The rest of the world has not caught up to you yet in your consciousness. The rest of the world may not have your intelligence yet. You cannot lower your intelligence because they have not hired theirs. That doesn't make you snobby. That doesn't make them bad. Again, talking about conflict, that there is times you're going to have to go to court. There is times you're going to have to speak up. So this message is, on your spiritual path, realize that a warring mind and heart is very much a part of the universe. Inside my body right now as we are talking, my body is fighting off diseases. Diseases I don't know about. I don't have anything, but many of us don't realize our body's constantly fighting off disease. Can you imagine our body if it was afraid to have conflict, or if our white blood cells all of a sudden became enlightened and tried to understand everything and everybody? When cancer enters into the system, can you imagine our white blood cells trying to negotiate with cancer, and just like cancer has its place too? Just imagine that. Because it doesn't stop there inside. It comes out. It comes out into our consciousness. It comes out into our society. It comes out into our homes. Okay? There's times to solve the problem of cancer, it takes violence. And what I mean by that is chemotherapy. Certain therapies that just really knock the person on their ass. And then there's people that overcome it by changing their diet. So you can see right there, even in nature, there's times it has to be very violent, it's very grueling, it's tormenting, but you got to keep yourself together. And then there's times that's not the answer. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. You can turn a tumor benign by simply changing a few things. So we need to look at our life like this. Is this a situation that we can solve and fix the conflict with something gentle, changing a few habits, maybe changing where we drive, changing where we work, changing how we address things? Or is this a situation that I may have to go take jujitsu to be able to solve this problem, or I might have to get brave and be angry and just show this person what they're doing? Again, I can't answer all these for you. This is where you got to seek wisdom. on conflict. And I would advise people, if you are having an issue with conflict, please go take an MMA class or jiu-jitsu class. You can read books, but it's different when you have someone on top of you trying to smother you, grabbing your gi. You don't have to be committed. You don't have to be committed. You don't have to go get a black belt. Going for a month may be good enough for you. A lot of people don't like that because that happens in life too. They get conflicted. It's the same as when someone grabs you and is trying to choke you and you just can't stand it or take it. So, if this is a weakness, start working on how to deal with conflict. Maybe go more into even let's use a lens and zoom in. Conflict with the job. Maybe conflict with my husband is going through some kind of mental issue. We need to start studying on that mental issue and how do we work with that. That's how we start dealing with conflict, because every bit of conflict is not the same and they don't all have the same answers, and there's some answers that might make it worse. So anyways, that's what I want us to think about today on this episode is conflict. Don't be afraid of it. Don't think because you're praying it's going to go away. You're alive. Heart pumps, go still. Pumps, go still. That's the way life is. Life, we have weather, we have good days, we have bad days. If you want to enjoy the lake in the summer, then you have to have the snow in the winter. Okay? You like eating food, you have to have storms come. Because storms are what basically make the environment the way it should be to be able to have food. So anyways, thank you for joining me today. I hope this message helps somebody. If this helps you, I ask you to please like and subscribe. Recommend this to your friends so we can grow. For whatever reason on YouTube, I could put out videos and get hundreds of views. For whatever reason the last few months, it's zero with everything I do. Shorts, films, everything. I have several other channels and I'm having the same problem, not sure what the deal is. And this is channels that are getting subscribers. So anyways, that being said, also keep an eye out. We're coming up with a website. We're going to get ready to start booking up our retreats for the summer. We're going to have strictly just meditation retreats, and then we're going to have our fight retreats, which has kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, and meditations. We also may even have conditioning retreats where it's aerial silks, stretching, yoga, and on these retreats too, they're very spiritual, so people understand what they are when they come. We do sage ceremony, we do lots of meditations, and if it's cold enough, we do cold plunging. So anyways, that's our retreats. We'll have more information about that on a video. Anyways, that's what supports us. Join me again for another episode.